Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. This is my according to Brit chit chat. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I usually put up a poll and people ask me questions, so make sure that you are following me. Here's my IG right here below. So without further ado, we have a lot to talk about, so let's just go ahead and get started. All right, so first question is, am I dating? Is she dating? Psych. But not per se. I feel like my definition of dating means like there's someone or a few people specifically that's in my life that I'm getting to know. Wouldn't say that, but I've met people, but you know, we're not dating, but we want to date. The next question is, how are you mentally? Whew, this is a loaded question. Okay, so I would say I would give myself like a 7 out of 10 right now. I feel it's a lot that I am processing, and I feel like a lot of the things that I am processing isn't necessarily making me feel the best. So those things are weighing on me. I think the biggest issue or mind block that I'm having is like, first of all, if you guys have been following my journey since I moved to Atlanta, it's been a journey of like going after my dreams, trying new things, taking a step out on faith, like fighting for my life in lamest terms. And I feel like this year, I finally got like every single thing that I was praying for, like the community, the money, the job, the exposed, like just a lot of the things that I have been praying for, I got this year. But in the same breath, like now that we're at the end of the year, like none of those things are here. And so that's really hard for me to process, because I fought, I prayed, I fasted, I stayed consistent. Like, so for me to have like gained everything that I've been fighting for 2 years and have it, it's like, okay, it's all making sense. And then to just kind of be back where I started, that just doesn't feel good. So that's a lot, like kind of going through my mind, like all while going through like a process of grief and just trying to understand and adapt to my new normal. Like that is a lot going through my mind at once. And to navigate that, it takes a lot of mental strength. But I feel like I'm at a point where I don't have, like nothing else bad can happen right now, because I truly don't have no more like mentally to give or mentally to accept or adapt to. I'm like all tapped out in a sense. And so, yeah, I'm navigating that, and that's not the most comfortable. The next question is, what are you thankful for during this holiday season? Something I really have been thinking a lot about is like, when I reflect on, like, as much as I feel like I'm not like where I want to be or like in a space in life that I'm comfortable, it's like, this is my apartment with my name on it that I pay the bills for every month. Like, this year I probably have cried more than I have, this year I have cried more than I have cried in probably the last 2 or 3 years combined. But like, I'm crying in a bed that only I sleep in every month, or I might be driving and I'm like, why do I have to go here? But that's my car, like with my name on it. So I say all those things to say, like, I'm just grateful that I have what I have, and I have more than I need. I have more than enough. Like I'm blessed. And it's like, you might be crying, but you're crying in your house. Whereas like there's people who don't even have a house, or, you know, just, I'm grateful that I still have, like I have a lot. I'm blessed. Like, and I reflect on like the environments that I have grown up in. Whereas like a lot of people I grew up with honestly are dead. Some are in jail. And it's like, I don't know what it is about me that I've gotten to this point where like the future is so bright for me, but that's not something that I take for granted. So I'm still gonna cry, but I'm gonna cry in this house that's mine. So that's something I have been grateful for. Can I take you to dinner or one day or vacation? Man, don't know you. The next thing is, as you experience transition, what are some things that remain true about yourself? Oh, that's a great question. I think the thing that remains true about myself is like how much I love people and how much of a kind light I am into this world. And I really love that about myself. I love though how like in this current season I have been learning to love in a way that still guards my heart and that still has boundaries, and still loving in a way that I am assertive, so I say what I mean and I mean what I say and I don't regret it, because I used to have so much boundaryless love. So that's like a whole nother topic, but I do love who I am at my core, like the person that I am. I love how I truly love people. I truly care about people. Like that has, no matter how bad or hard or rough life gets, like my ability to like just be a good person, like truly, that is true. I will say also something that remains true about me is that I truly have faith. Like my faith often gets tested, and the battle has been, God, why? But not, is there a God? Or like, God doesn't love me, or you get what I'm saying? Like I feel like I've transitioned from that space. There's always like, I still, no matter how low I get, I still believe that there's a God. I still believe that God's light within me is shining, and I'm still able to share the love of God, you know, with others. And I think I'm just super like determined. Like I dream and I believe for more. So like no matter how much life knocks me down, like there's still that mustard seed or acorn rather, like faith and belief that like more is possible. So like those things have always been true. Those things remain true, and I believe that those characteristics are going to continue to carry me through life. So yeah. What are you praying for this new year? Yay. So this new year, I'm truly praying to be a disciplined person. I've honestly, if I'm speaking my truth, this is embarrassing. Okay. Okay, whatever. This is my truth. Like, I've never really cared to like be a disciplined person, because in my mind, I'm like, if I'm disciplined, that means I can't do what I want. And I like to do what I want, when I want, how I want. No, I'm sorry, but that is my truth. But I have hit a point in life where I have learned that if I'm going to be able to steward and do the things that I really want to do, like I have to be disciplined. Like I cannot not have discipline and accomplish or live in and manage like the things that I want. So definitely praying to be a disciplined woman this season. I am also praying for I want to walk in my purpose for real. Like I really want to, like I feel like I have been behind the scenes for like the last like several years, like serving, volunteering, praying, watching from afar, overlooked, misunderstood. Like those have been my truths for the last several years. But like in 2025 want the world to like know Brittany, for the world to book Brittany, for the world to listen to Brittany. Like I really want to get out there and like just get back to speaking and just using my gifts. Like those are things I really, really want. I feel like in the past I have been very like, I know that the gifts are there, but the gifts have been like in development. So if 2025 my gifts still need to be in development, I can definitely be at peace with that, because I know that God's timing is the best. But if it's in his will, I want more mics in my hand. I want to be on panels. I want to be hosting. I want to actually like do the things. Like I feel like I've been in proximity of the things and I've been able to like observe, but I'm ready. Like I'm ready to get back. So those are just a few things that I'm praying for in the new year. Do you think about getting married and having kids? Yes, girl. I think about that all the time. I probably think about it 7 times a week. But yes, all the time. Like I feel like I'm in a season currently where I'm trying to like prepare myself for my husband, and like just become the kind of woman to have that type of attitude that like I ask myself daily. Like I'm like, could I have like with my habits, the way that I clean, the way that I cook, the way that I love, the way that I listen, the way that I show up, how safe my heart is, could I give that love to a man right now in this season? Those are things that I'm constantly asking myself and just learning about. So I feel like I am in that season of like preparation for my husband. And when I don't clean up behind myself, I be convicted. I be like, I cannot have a man living in this house. So, and just certain things, like I feel like I'm getting back into the space where I'm like, I don't want you to touch me, I don't want you to have access to me. Like I want to save myself in totality, like for my husband. So those are thoughts that are constantly going through my mind. And yes, I really want to have kids, but it's so funny. I feel like I'm gonna have kids in the next 5 years or so, but like I have been getting in a space where I'm 27 currently. I'm like, yo, I don't know what it is, like my heart wants a kid, like can you call me mommy? But I don't know, like I've been thinking about having kids more. But I feel like yesterday I went to this event, and it was an event where like mommies were like talking about like their transition into motherhood and like their struggles and things like that. And I realized, like I feel like I'm slowly but surely, like I was mentally falling into these time blocks of like, okay, if I want to have kids in the next 5 years, then that means that I need to meet my husband today, then we need to be together for this, and I'm like, that made me be like, actually there are a lot of things that I want to accomplish before I have kids and all of the things. And so like it slowed me down again. But yeah, like I feel like with me being 27 and knowing that I do, like I thought I would have kids. I thought I would be married by like 28, but clearly, where's the ring? But and that's okay. Like I'm not ready. Like I'm not actually ready. I love watching my heart develop and get ready and get hopeful and get excited and all of the things, but I'm not ready yet. So yeah, but I feel like because I'm at the point where I'm 27, you know, when you think about like the woman's biological time clock and all of the things, like it is a motivation for me at least to be like more intentional with my body and my choices and who I choose to date and what I'm paying attention to, all of the things. So yeah, girl, in other words, yes. Can you talk about your experience with Miss Morgan, like the transition from being Miss Morgan to real life? Baby girl, that, you know, I don't know if I've ever like repeated this out loud, but that has been the hardest, that has been a really hard thing for me. And that's actually something that behind closed doors, like I struggle with a lot, because I think being Miss Morgan State University, like to date, have been like one of the most, in purpose seasons that I've had. Like I feel like when I think about like my life and like what I want to do, it's like being Miss Morgan State but on steroids, right? Like I want to be able to have events, do community service. I want to be able to be the face of a brand. I want to use my voice, be a light, like be in leadership, speak into things, help make decisions, advocate, like all of the things. Like that is my dream for my life just as Brittany. And so for a long, you know, I will say this last year, I think I don't know if it's been a year, but at least the last several months, for the first time since I graduated in 2019, like I've always compared my success in real time to like who I was when I was Miss Morgan. Like I feel like when I think about like achievement, I use that as like what I can't think of the words to use, but like I always compare my current success to like my Miss Morgan success. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, like I never admitted this, and like we listen, we don't judge. But I have struggled for a long, I can't believe I'm about to say this, okay? But this is my truth. I have struggled for a very long time, like feeling like I fell off, you know, like, and I just feel like the impact that I had, like through those 4 years, Miss Freshman, Miss Sophomore, Junior, Miss Morgan State University, like I really had a huge impact on that campus, on that community. And one of my biggest regrets, even though I try not to have regrets, but one of my biggest regrets is like not taking the platform and the impact that I had and like growing and monetizing that from that point forward. Like obviously like I do YouTube, but I'm like, yo, what would life have looked like had I been doing YouTube since college? Like I feel like I would have took off, I would be paid by YouTube, like it would be a thing. So that's often something that I like have burdened myself with and kind of like lived in regret, and just it has not been a good feeling. This might sound so surface level, but like I think about like, dang, Like, I was so close to having 10,000 followers. Like, if I could have just took that and ran with it, like, just all the things. And not saying in a way like I care about followers, but I'm just talking about the amount of people that were like actively watching me and engaging with me, and like, you know. And it is a beautiful thing, because I feel like even now when I do small things here and there, like, I see like, okay, like, you still got it. But again, like, I feel like I compare myself to like that version of Brit. And the truth is, it's like, I served for 4 years, whereas like most Miss Morgans, you know, truthfully, they have served, they were Miss Morgan, or they were Miss Junior and Miss Morgan, or Miss Sophomore and Miss Morgan. Like, everybody doesn't go a 4-year run. So when I graduated, I was like, I'm taking this time for Brittany. Like, my life has been under a microscope for the last 4 years. I have served my university with every single thing that I have had in my bone. Like, I want to take this time to pour into me and to like take a step back from the limelight. So I truly did what was best for me. But I feel like today, present day, like career wise, I'm just not where I want to be. And I always feel like, and I feel like your career controls so much of your life. Like, a lot of times, like, your career controls like how much money you bring in, and how much money you have determines what kind of life you can live, and you know, all of the things. And don't get me wrong, like, outside of all of that, like, I have joy, I have peace. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of like the external things, I guess you can say, which whatever, it's like not adding up. So that's my truth. I don't know if I ever shared, I don't know if I've ever even told anyone that, but that is my truth. Is out in the world now. So what are we gonna do? Next question. How do you keep yourself motivated when you lack faith? That's really good. I think that for me, I am like, I know, like, I could just feel what it is that God truly has for me. Like, I feel it deep in my soul, and I feel it. I feel like you could be talking to a random person and they will affirm it. And so when I lose faith, like, sometimes my faith is weak, but that image of myself as my best self, like in purpose, doing exactly what God has put me on earth to do, like, I never lose sight of that. So that's something that you're struggling with. I would say on the everyday life, you really have to just get in tune with like who God has called you to be. And like, I'm not all of who God has called me to be, but I am so in love. I truly adore the woman that God has put me on earth to be. And I see her, I feel her. And I feel like when I lose faith, it's like that mustard seed of like, but if that thing that God said about me actually comes true, life is worth living. And so I always just kind of hold on to that. Woo, wait, is this heavy or what? Okay. What's one thing you learned about yourself and one thing you're excited about in 2025? Okay, I have learned about myself, and I really had to put like a lot of work in actually this year to like work on. Is like I have been an extremely passive person, and how passive I have been has caused me a lot of issues. And so when I say passive, meaning like somebody can make me feel a type of way or do something that I don't like, and I kind of like, I just won't say nothing, you know, or because I've always had a mindset like, I don't like making people feel uncomfortable. I don't like when people make me feel uncomfortable. So instead of making you feel uncomfortable, I'll just take it. No, not no more. But yeah, I have been very passive, and I also don't like confrontation. And my therapist has taught me that being assertive is not being aggressive. And so I viewed assertiveness as aggressiveness. And so instead of being assertive, I would do nothing at all, because I never wanted someone to see me as aggressive. And I feel like when I was younger, no judgment, but when I was younger, like in high school, like I was very assertive, but I was also I could be aggressive at times. And like, that was a version of myself I grew from. And I just never like wanted to be that. So I kind of mixed up the two. So I feel like I'm in a space now where it's like, hey, no, I don't like this. And like, I speak up for myself. I stand on business, like all of the things. My therapist has really helped me with that. So one thing that I am excited about in 2025 is I'm a business owner. Yay! So I love that for me. Like, I've always dreamed of being an entrepreneur. I've always dreamed of like owning multiple businesses, being this boss baby girl that I am. But I am so excited to see how I grow in business. Like, and something I've learned is like, there's a difference in hustling and actually being a CEO. And like, you know, my dream, my goal is to really be a CEO. Like, so I am so excited to like really learn business and not just hustle. Cause I'm a hustle baby girl. Let me say something about me. When I say I know how to make $1, I know how to take a penny and turn it into 12 quarters. Trust that about me. But yeah, I'm so excited. Like, that's something I'm really looking forward to. Every year, well, I guess I can release it now. Every year I choose a topic, like a theme for my year. So my theme for 2025 is about me and my father's business, about my business and my father's business, meaning I'm about my business and I'm about the business that God has for my life. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Next question. Wait, girl, this is heavy. Okay, how did you enjoy working for a church and why did you leave? Okay, well, here it has it, guys. I have worked for a church in my last season of my life. Yeah, so So I actually really loved working for the church. Like, working for a church, my last job working for a church was the best job that I've actually ever had. I was very nervous, like, going into it because I was in a great space spiritually. Like, I am a God-fearing, spirit-led woman, but I'm definitely still on a journey as it pertains to like growing with Christ and all of the things. And I wanted my journey with God to be my journey with God, and I didn't want to have to like speed it up to like, I didn't want to have to conform. And I also knew that there's a lot of things that spiritually like I needed to work on, and I wasn't perfect. So I was afraid how like that would, you know, mesh or whatever. But it actually didn't at all. And I feel like that job was so good. I think specifically because of the leadership that I was under, like it was so good for my development. It was definitely a challenge. It was definitely harder than I thought. And not so much from, well, definitely from a spiritual aspect, but also from just like, it's a lot of work. Like it was so much more work than I could have imagined. But I really feel like I needed that. And I really loved it. Like I really don't have, I can truly say, like 10 out of 10. Like I don't have any complaints. It was nothing that I didn't like. And I think that that job was perfect for me in that season because, as you guys know, like I lost my mom, and I lost my mom while I was there. And so I knew God had called me to work there, and I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, like is God trying to like prepare me to be a pastor? Like I was so scared. But I realized in kind of fast forward now, like I feel like God strategically aligned that, because with me losing my mom, I could not, when I say from the bottom of my heart, like I could not imagine like having any other job. Like I feel like because I was working in ministry, the grace that they gave me, I wouldn't have gotten that like anywhere else. So yeah. And to the point, to the question of why did I stop working there, just like I said, like it really was a lot of work, and I lost my mom, and like I just couldn't keep up. Like that's just really what happened. Like me losing my mom like really knocked the wind out of me. Like if I can describe it, the best way is like, imagine like you are running full pace. And what I mean by full pace is I was the best version of myself for the most part in every area of my life. So I had the momentum, I had the like endurance, I was running. And like I told y'all, like everything that I felt like I had been praying for, I got. So I was in such a good space. I was like running. And then when my mom passed, I literally feel like someone like pushed me, and it like knocked the wind out of me. And it took me a second to like, you know, and so it took me a second to catch my breath and to like, just, you know, process that my new normal. And I feel like it's something that no one will understand unless you go through it. So I don't know if any of you guys have lost a parent, but if so, I would love to hear like what that looked like for you, like going back to work. And even still now, like it's still hard for me. Like I feel like I don't feel like I can, not saying I don't feel like I can process it, but there's still so many things that's like life is demanding of me, that grief for me requires me to be super vulnerable, and I can't be that vulnerable and that busy. Like it, you know, so it was that, yeah, that's basically in a nutshell of like why I had to stop. So this is the last question. It says, what would you like to be remembered for once you complete your journey? Beautiful question. I want to be remembered as a person that was like a pure soul. Like I want people to be like, she like showed me that there really are good people, and like she was like, it's almost like if God put a person on the earth to like be an example of what it means to be a God-fearing woman, what it means to be fun and be a, you know, like I want to be a safe space for people. Like I want people to feel comfortable. Like I felt like I want people to say like, when I was around her, like I felt like I could be my raw, authentic self, like naked and unashamed, unapologetically me. Like I felt like when she talked, like God spoke through her, like she was a vessel. Like I just wanted to be remembered as like a pure person. Like that was a good person that made my heart, my soul, my spirit feel good when I was around her. So that's the person I aspire to be every day. I'm not perfect at all, but those are like my personal missions of who I want to be to people. And I think that in itself like speaks for itself. You know, like you encounter some people and it's like, yo, it's something about her, it's like different, and not different in like a boastful way, but like that person makes me feel good. They make like, it's, you ever like encounter somebody and you like, when I'm just in your presence, I just feel safe. Like I just feel like you are what God has intended for humans to be, and how God has intended for us to make each other feel. That's my mission. But yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This was definitely a lot of my tea and a lot of my business and a lot of my thoughts that some I struggle with, some that just is what it is. But I hope that you guys enjoy it. I feel like this has also been like a life update, just kind of sharing where I've been, what I've been thinking, what I've been doing, and what I'm hopeful for in the new year. So again, this is our second video back. I'm so excited to come back to YouTube. Make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, y'all. Like I love when y'all comment. I love when you tell me what about the video that you liked, share your insight, all of the things. And this is my tea. You know, I'm not necessarily looking for any advice. This is just me being open, honest, and vulnerable about where I am. So please take my gift of vulnerability as a gift to you in your life. And again, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, because I put a poll up on my Instagram asking these questions. So you guys can always ask me whatever you want. It could be fun, silly, spicy, insightful. I love being an open book. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.